Eagles' first points in the second half. Back to an 11-point lead.
Mike, what's been impressive about Winthrop, in the first half and even now, all their shots have really been uncontested. They've been great shots.
Into Presley. Good effort by Price to deny. And stayed vertical.
I tell you what, that was two Titans right there battling.
There's a shot fake Cooks, and he's going to be fouled going to the basket. Chivas picks up his second. That's the first Hampton foul in the second half. And Xavier Cooks at the line shooting 2. Cooks 61% at the line last year, was 51 of 83, 1 for 2 today. And he'll miss here on the first of 2.
Mike, I like what Price did down there because Presley is a monster when he gets the ball down there. The game tape we saw, he just moves people off the block with his size and his strength. And Price was having nothing of that right there and really made him take a fall away. So a good start to their post defense in the second half.
62-51. Second one just rims out, so Eagles only have 3 misses at the free throw line. Cooks has all 3. Lead is 11. And now Hampton trying to get into their offense. Use a lot of ball screens. Now Cooks has had a pretty good game so far. He takes it to the rim, gets fouled. So the foul against the Eagles center, Zach Price. So that's 3 on Price, and now Dubio KK coming up. Lawrence Cooks at the line shooting 2. 36 points between Chavis and Lawrence Cooks for Hampton. And now a 10-point game as Cooks makes on the first. He has 17 points.
Well, Mike, that might be one of the weaknesses that we're seeing right now with Winthrop's post play and foul trouble.
Second good. Cooks makes both. 18 points, passes his career high. Lob underneath to Jimmy Gavin, and it's going to be last touched by Gavin. Winthrop turning the ball over.
Mike, the Eagles only had 4 turnovers, I believe, in the first half, which they had 7 turnovers. And that's a pretty good start. You want to try to keep it around 12 for the game.
And now an offensive foul, and that's going to be for Presley, his 3rd. So foul trouble for both teams.
That's that new rule again. Yep. You have to be stationary.
And he wasn't set.
Last year they let you kind of move with that screen, and there were a lot of moving screens, and they've made a decision to clear it up, and we've seen it called.
But Bobby, it's not so much, it is clearing it up, freedom of movement, all that, but one of the areas of emphasis, too, is just consistency, so that a foul called in the Big South is a foul that's going to be called in the ACC.
And we hope that that's the way it's called, because if it's not, when you get the postseason play, it's going to be really hard to adjust to.
Cooks has that good shot fake now in traffic, tries the hook shot, no good. Ball loose, Miller coming up with it for the Pirates. Hampton on the run. Cooks for 3, in and out, no good, long rebound. Keon Johnson can't get it. Darden does for Hampton. And now Miller's going to reset the offense here and tells Cooks to just take it easy. They're going to try and take a little time here and get the right actions they want.
How about the leadership by Miller right there to calm his team down?
And a miss. I don't know if Okeke caught a little piece of it. He might have. Here's Johnson the other way for the Eagles. Ball's going to be tipped around. Broman coming up with it. Out to Gavin. Under 16 and a half to play. Up top, Broman steps in for the 3. In and out, no good. Dubio KK, the rebound. The stick back, no good. Chavis there and gets the rebound.
Well, that's what they need. They need KK to get a hold of that ball and then just go up with its strength, Mike, and flush it down there. Tell you, the one thing that I'm noticing right now is that Winthrop's offense is designed right now. They're going at Chivas, trying to get him in some foul trouble.
Eagles' largest lead, 20, and right now the lead is 9. Inside, lost by Adams, and Gavin will bring it out of the pack for the Eagles.
Well, Mike, the Eagles have got to get back into the rhythm that they were in the first half, where they're driving, kicking out, getting open looks.
Gavin puts up an off-balance shot, and we're going to get a...
I don't know how he got a jump ball out of that one right there, but Coach Kelsey would like an explanation with that.
Yeah, that you'd think it would be a foul one way or the other. said it's going to be a jump ball. We'll go into our first media timeout. Winthrop leads by 9 on the Big South Network.
Foul.
No. So a 9-point lead for the Eagles. Hampton will have the basketball. Reginald Johnson back in with Darden, Lawrence Cooks, Chivas, and Charles Wilson Fisher. Eagles have Roderick Perkins in for Bjorn Broman. And Dubio Keke is on the floor for Zach Price. Price has 3 fouls. Wilson Fisher is in for Presley, who has 3 fouls for the Hampton Pirates. In traffic, Cooks fights for the rebound. Ball's going to be saved. Nice save by Xavier Cooks for Keon Johnson. Tippy-toeing the line there with his body.
And the speedy point guard there to be able to retrieve it, bring it up, and get him into the offense.
What they're trying to get into a flow. They had a really strong offensive flow in the first half. Here's a miss by Xavier Cooks. So the shots that fell in the first half are not falling here in the second half.
Well, Mike, they're not getting the shots that they actually did in the first half right now. They're not bad shots,
right,
but they're not those wide open looks that they got in the first half.
And here's a miss. Johnson, good defense. Now Cooks out in front. And a layup is good for Lawrence Cooks. A new career high, 20 points. And the lead now 7 for the Eagles. Trimmed, which was once 20 in the first half.
Well, Mike, Hampton has just been steady. They've gone to Chivas. They've gone to Cooks. They do what they do well. They take the ball to the rim.
And the Eagles are maybe taking too many outside shots and not attacking inside. And here's a miss by Perkins. So Eagles misses kind of helping fuel the Pirates here.
Well, again, Mike, that shot that was just taken right there is not the looks that they got in the first half.
Is that something the Pirates are doing?
Well, I think they're playing that pressure defense right now. You know, they changed their defenses up in the first half.
Cooks has it stuck on the glass. So the Eagles will get possession on the alternating possession arrow with 13:56 to play and a 7-point lead.
And Mike, a little jaw in between Fisher and Keon Johnson right there, kind of like a little shove push. And they started sparking. And he's still talking to Keon Johnson as he's going off the field. Off the floor right there.
Now Wilson Fisher, nope, he was going to come off the floor. Kalen Fisher also on the floor. The young freshman from Chicago, Illinois, and Proviso East High School. Now pressure on the inbound. More of a token pressure. The only one on the ball was Fisher. But it forced the Eagles to eat a little bit of time on the clock. Davenport in traffic. Shot blocked, but draws a foul with 13:42 to play.
Mike, that right there was, they got back to what they did in the first half. They had a screen, they had another screen, then they had a third, and then they had a penetration to the basket, and now they're something good. So they took up some time, they got back into their rhythm, the offense that they want to be in.
Wilson Fisher picks up his second, and the free throw is good for Joshua Davenport.
And I think, Mike, when you shoot the ball as well as the Eagles did in the first half and the number of threes that they made, you get into that rhythm of, okay, the second half's going to be the same way. Well, Hampton has picked the defensive up and has changed the rhythm of the game. So Winthrop's got to find that rhythm back again.
Lead is 8. 1 out of 2 for Joshua Davenport. Yeah, at one point the Eagles were 69%, 63% from 3. Here's a corner miss and a foul inside. And I think it's going to go against Winthrop. So Zach Price clearing out on the rebound, takes Presley down. I have that would be on 3. I have 2 on Price, so that should be number 3, not 4. Unless he picked up one earlier that was changed. We'll get to the bottom of that one. Price has to go to the bench.
Well, Mike,
the back is Dubio Keke.
I was just watching Coach Kelsey, and it looks like Zach had wrapped around.
Presley in front, no good, and the rebound underneath. Here's Davenport out of traffic. Pushes up the floor. Perkins gets his man off the floor. Dumps down for Okeke. Back to Perkins. Little floater, no good. Ball loose, and now coming out of the pack is Kalen Fisher. Eagles missed an opportunity. Now under 13 to play. And here's a three for Fisher, Kalen Fisher.
Well, Kalen Fisher just jumped up in Gavin's face right there and took the three, which probably really was a bad shot. I mean, they didn't really have any offense, but boy, he rose with some confidence and buried it.
All right, now here's a steal by Johnson. Goes up for the layup on the left side, and now a three-point game. The Eagles coming a little bit unglued, and the Pirates feeling the confidence of a comeback with 12:31 to play. So immediate timeout. Eagles lead is shrunk to 3. 12:31 to play on the Big South Network.
KK's got to stay out of foul trouble. Zach's got 4. He's only got 1 to give. Too much time to put him back on the floor right now.
All right, so the Eagles under 12 and a half to play with a 3-point lead. Kalen Fisher working on Bjorn Broman. Gavin at the hot hand in the first half. Cooks, shot fake, working on Wilson Fisher. Misses off the left side. Ball's going to be tipped off the head of Cooks. Dubio Keke initially had it. Here's Johnson in traffic. Layup is good now, 1-point game.
Mike, one of the things Coach Kelsey said at the time was transition baskets. Hampton got way too many, and they've continued that train, out on the tracks right now. They've got it in fourth gear.
All right, a good test for the Eagles, under 12 to play. Broman for 3, no good. Rebound Perkins. In traffic, draws a foul with 11:46 to play. That was a good shot fake by Roderick Perkins.
Get points any way you can at this point, Mike. One of the things when you have that 11-point lead and you're struggling from the perimeter, you may want to get a post touch in there, but they are getting to the rim with their drives.
Well, I'd go at Kalen Fisher, and I'd go at Javon Presley. Both of those players have 3 fouls.
And I think that's what Winthrop started off.
All right, immediate timeout. The under 12. Winthrop lead is 1, 63-62. Don't go anywhere. We got a barn burner here in Rock Hill.
The Eagles have got plenty of firepower. They've got to play, their game of basketball. They got to go back to what got them 60 points in the first half. Spreading the floor, dribble drives to the basket, kicking it out, and getting the comfortable 3, and getting a couple shots to the basket. Like, they got to run to the rim and get to the free throw line.
Eagles now 46% in the game. Roderick Perkins gets the first free throw to fall, so that's the 4th point the Eagles have scored in almost 9 minutes here in the second half. Second one no good. Cooks the rebound. Out for Johnson. Now the Eagles setting up the offense. Gavin in traffic. To the rim. Basket and a foul. What a big 2 possessions right there for the Eagles.
Absolutely, Mike. They got to get back to the basics. Their spacing got cramped up. They're able to split, the drive and the help side on Hampton, and he's able to finish the old school 3 right there.
So Gavin and one opportunity. That's number 3 on Chavis.
Mike, when the 3 ball leaves you and you haven't been able to score, they've only scored 7 points in the second half. You go do the easy things. Get it from the free throw line and layups.
Eagles lead by 5. We're going to have an elbow on the floor. This will not be a shooting foul. It will be the 3rd on the Eagles, though. And the 3rd on Roderick Perkins.
Mike, the officials have been very consistent with that new hands-off rule. No arm barring, no directing where the driver's going to go with the ball.
Johnson, NBA range 3, no good. Johnson the rebound. So the Eagles lead by 5. Now a steal by Darden, and the layup is good. 4 points now in the game for Darden. The lead is back to 3. Eagles got a little sloppy with the basketball.
Well, Mike, Keon Johnson just needed to bring the ball up himself.
Now Cooks, double clutch, gets it to fall.
Got the soft roll on that. It just had enough momentum to lip over there.
Back to 5 for the Eagles, under 11 to play in the game. Eagles heating up offensively, and now we're going to get a whistle away from the basketball here. So Gavin will pick up what is his first foul and the fourth team foul for the Eagles.
Mike, and that's one of those new rules about manhandling cutters. You used to be able to bump them.
Yes.
Hey, as defensive coaches, they tell you, cutter coming through the lane, you didn't let him go through there.
You can't chuck, you can't shove, you can't armbar coming through. You can't restrict the cutter on the floor.
And that's where Gavin's just used to bumping the guy, not letting him get to the ball, and that's the new rule.
In traffic, swap by OKK. Cooks up the floor. Kick out for Perkins. Good for three.
Two good possessions right now, Mike. They got back to Eagle basketball. Solid defense and great shots.
And now a timeout called by Hampton. It'll be a 30-second timeout for Ed Joyner. The Eagles up off the bench.
And Coach Kelsey's after Gavin right now. Evidently, whatever it was.
Out. And Roderick Perkins, really good set feet there, and was clearly behind the line.
For our young players, Cooks being a big man, he comes down under control,
He runs the ball very well for a big man.
Yeah, but he jump stops and then gives him the good dart pass out there in the shooting arm, and then Perkins does what he's supposed to do with the ball.
All right, so the Eagles lead is back to 8, under 10 and a half to play. Kalen Fisher triggers the inbound for Brian Darden. Eagles have kept him to just 4 points.
Mike, we've talked many times on broadcasts about momentum. You're going to have runs in the course of a game.
Chavis underneath, but they're going to give it a goaltending. So Chavis will get credit for the basket.
Mike, I want to tell you what, as a coach, you like that. And Pat Kelsey's argued that it was already blocked.
The Eagles are trying to say that was already blocked. Let's see if we can get a look at it here. It was tipped going up.
Tipped once, yes.
That was tipped going up.
That ball was blocked going up on that, Mike. You're exactly correct.
So the Eagles lead by 6. And the ball after the goaltending call.
Mike, Hampton's coming full court with a little kind of soft pressure just to let the guards.
Now in traffic, Cooks going to draw a foul. If that's on Presley, that could be number 4. No, that's going to be on Kalen Fisher. So that'll be his first, and that'll be the team's 6. So the Eagles will shoot a 1-and-1 on the next foul if it's not a shooting foul.
Mike, fouls are going to play a huge role in this game right now because we've got a lot of players that are in that danger zone with 4 fouls.
And right now the Eagles have a chance at the bonus, and it's a miss on Cooks, but he's going to be fouled, and that should be on Presley. So that's going to be number 4 on Presley, and you talked about it a second ago. That's a big foul for Hampton.
Mike, right after that play, Cooks looked at KK and gave him this because he got double teamed. Cooks did, and KK was just waiting on the ball for the slam. And so that was great recognition on Cooks' part to say, hey, I missed you, I won't miss you again. Because we know Cooks is a very good basketball player in terms of seeing the floor.
Xavier Cooks, 15 points, leads back to 7. Presley has to sit on the bench. Deontay Adams back in. Gavin is out for the Eagles. Bjorn Broman back in, and Cooks makes 2.
Well, Mike, Winthrop has settled down now. They've gotten back into the run. They've weathered the storm, and now they're getting back to what they do well.
Lead is back to 8. Darden drives, and is going to be fouled on the floor with 9:57 to play. They're going to give him continuation. That's the question.
Mike,
Keon Johnson picking up the foul, Bobby.
What KK is doing right now, he got the block before they called a goaltending.
Right. Now, this will be a foul on the floor, so it'll be an inbound, but go ahead.
He just blocked it again.
Yeah.
Another one. So in the back of Hampton's mind is, we take it in the paint. We got a shot blocker back there now. He's got 3 of ours already.
He's definitely a rim protector. And that one was tipped, but it goes in. Cooks, 22 points. Every time he scores in this game, it's a new career high. Cooks for 3. Good! Xavier Cooks raises his head.
Did you see the way he stepped into it with comfort? Early in the first half, I didn't think the Eagles were shooting the ball with comfort. Now they've got rhythm back. And how did they get it on the defensive end?
Cooks 20 points, 3 3-pointers. Eagles have 11 threes in the game. 6 for the Hampton Pirates. Pirates have done a lot of work inside. Eagles have done a lot of work on the perimeter. Chavis on a miss. Perkins the rebound for the Eagles. He'll bring it up the floor. Now Winthrop in transition. Kind of a one-on-one game there. Perkins lifts up a miss. Ball's going to be tipped around, and it's going to be Chavis coming up with it. Darden slips it underneath. Adams kicks out for Johnson. The three on the wing. In and out, no good. And the rebound by Bjorn Broman.
Good block out. That's why he got that ball right there.
Eagles can get back to double figures. Broman in traffic has a shot blocked by Cooks, but then is fouled.
Broman might have been fouled 3 times on that play, Mike.
Only one counts.
And good recognition that he saw, he saw it part and
Yep.
he took it down in there.
That's 2 on Lawrence Cooks. The Eagles might be a little bit underrated in their dribble drive penetration. We hear a lot about teams doing that to Winthrop, but with Gavin and Keon Johnson, Bjorn Broman.
Perkins is another goal that can
Perkins is
get to
another
the
one.
rim.
Xavier Cooks.
Xavier Cooks in his own way.
Bjorn Broman making the free throw. He has 10 points, and the Eagles back to a 10-point lead. Dubio KK is out. Davenport and Gavin back in for the Eagles. Cooks gets a breather as well. Broman a miss. Davenport has it ripped away from Wilson Fisher. So Broman 4 out of 5 at the line. Now Wilson Fisher in traffic, and an offensive foul! Hard to the floor goes Joshua Davenport with 8:31 to play.
Mike, Fisher leads. I mean, he's gone to the rim, and Davenport is waiting on him.
And Joshua Davenport, 2 things he did well there, Bobby, not only holding his ground, but he was actually leaning back trying to avoid contact. That's going to be number 4 on Wilson Fisher.
I'll tell you what, but see, that's Hampton's game. They want to run it to the rim. And early in the game, Mike, if you remember, we had 2 quick charges called against Hampton.
How about toughness here for Davenport? In a little bit of pain, but he says, no, I'm staying in.
Let me tell you something. He can ice that thing after the ball game. That's what Laura would tell him. Jeff Laura would tell him, get back out on the floor. We'll have a bag of ice for you later.
Zach Price back in the game for the Eagles. In it goes. Price, the turnaround. Travel is the call. 10-point lead for the Eagles, 8:18 to play.
Tell you what, Mike, Zach Price is a wide body down there. I like that move right there. I think he just needs to take it one step, gather himself, but I like the move. It just didn't go.
It's approaching 8 minutes to play. Darden inside for Wilson Fisher gets the layup on the left side. He's playing with 4 fouls, and now it's an 8-point game. Eagles with 8 minutes to go have the lead.
Mike, and that's that little toss back that Coach Kelly talked about yesterday in practice where they just pick and roll to the rim.
Here's Gavin. Nice pass behind. Underneath ball's going to be tipped, and it's going to be saved through the legs by Gavin. Crowd likes that. Another possession for the Eagles. Now Johnson in the corner. Gavin drives baseline. Goes up and under. No good. And a foul inside on Hampton with 7:29 to play. So the foul goes on Presley. Big foul there as he has just been disqualified with 7:29 to play. This will bring us to a media timeout. So the Eagles 78-70 with the lead. Don't go anywhere. We're back.
Congratulations to both y'all. Y'all look amazing. I feel amazing looking like next to you guys. All right. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Kim, thank you very much. And don't forget us when you're on ESPN someday.
I'll tell you what, Kim does a great job right there with the homecoming king and queen over there.
All right, so here in our game, 7:29 to play. Gavin at the line shooting 2. The first disqualification in this game with Presley, Jervon Presley, the Charlotte native, out. And Gavin hits the first of 2. So Gavin, the first Eagle, or the second Eagle to 20 points. Here's a miss on the second. Chivas the rebound. Eagles have 2 20-point scorers, Xavier Cooks and Jimmy Gavin. Hampton has 2, Quinton Chavis and Lawrence Cooks. A lot of offense in this game, Bobby.
A ton of offense.
149 combined points. Here's a miss. Ball's going to be tipped out of bounds. Last touched, I think, by Jimmy Gavin.
And Mike, with the new rules and everything, you would think, okay, it's 79-70. There's not a lot of defense being played. There's a lot of solid defense being played,
There's
but
some
the
good shots
rules have
made,
changed,
too, though. Right.
and both teams are trying to adjust to that.
But this is also what the NCAA wants. They want games in the 80s and 90s and even into the hundreds.
It actually is an advantage offense.
Johnson working on Broman, hand in the face, no good. Cooks secures the rebound. 8th rebound for Xavier Cooks. Johnson lifts up. 3 is good for Keon Johnson. He's got 9, and the Eagles back up by 12, 82-70.
It was like one of those things. He made the best decision, Mike, was when he started to drive and he backed it out and it flattened their defense out.
And it goes Chavis, loses it on the floor. Traveling is the call. Turnover, Hampton. That's the 15th turnover for the Pirates.
Mike, we're seeing a lot of swings.
Yeah.
Hampton got control of the game at the end of the half, to start the second half. Winthrop's rhythm was out. Now Winthrop has got the rhythm back, and they've got the Hampton out of control right now.
Well, if Winthrop goes on to win this game, I think one thing you have to like, and ball's going to be kicked by Jimmy Gavin as he was falling to the floor with 6:14 to play. Michael Husted with the call there. But you have to like the fact that Winthrop absorbed the punch, but was able to, keep fighting.
And they've had a little bit of foul trouble with their post plays in there now. Right now, Zach Price is playing